I'd like you to check out my hotbed. I designed this little system here using repurposed materials from the farm, and I filled it up with cow manure mixed with wood chips, and I created a heat chamber for starting my early seedlings. I'm also using it to start my early potatoes, and you can see here red chieftain potato starting to sprout a little bit. So I'm going to take advantage of the heat that's created from my hotbed to start my early potatoes and plant these in the ground in about a month when they're sprouted 2 to 3 inches, and I'll have really early potatoes, probably harvesting those early June. I also have seed trays. This one's filled with onions, 2 different types of onions, and then I have in the back here different types of brassicas, kale, broccoli, cauliflower. And I'm also using an open system like this over here with no tray to start my early onions. So this is really exciting, and I'll probably be getting some germination here in the next couple of days, even though we're still early in February. Also want to show you my cold frames over here. This is an inspiration from my grandfather, who was doing this very same system. He actually dug them in the ground, and this allowed him to get some really early vegetables. And I remember those days when you would pull up the lid. They weren't as heavy as this, and you would look inside and he'd have his early romaine lettuces and some spinach and arugula and some other really cool things growing in these mini greenhouses using glass as a way to trap the heat. So really great thing for people to try at home. You don't have to, you could build them simply by laying a piece of glass over top of a few bricks or a few pieces of wood. And then over here, I'd like to just show you this tunnel that we built using PVC, which we bent around right around here and covered with poly. It's actually a really sturdy system, and this is just, I'm going to put a door up front using the piece of plastic there. This will allow us to get some stuff started early in the season, but also its main purpose is to allow us to grow the tomatoes and the peppers, which we're going to be doing right through the summer, and maybe things like ginger and turmeric as well. These 3 different systems that I talk about allow us to get a good head start on the season. We've come out of a long winter and we're hungry, we're starved for food. And so what we're trying to accomplish is that early start. But we also talk about the main season growing, and then also growing through the winter, growing food in the fall, summer for a winter harvest. And that's a really important aspect as well if we want to gain food self-sufficiency, which is really what our gardening course is about, helping you gain food self-sufficiency in your context, for your family or for your community. Our course is divided into 4 sections. In the first section, we talk about composting and building great soil fertility, taking advantage of the organisms that are in the soil to grow great, nutritious food. Andrew is mostly focused on that aspect of the course, and he takes us on a really deep dive into the soil food web and the different types of composting that you can do in order to build fertility for your garden, for your space. Jack takes over in the second portion of the course, where we talk about designing beautiful edible landscapes. We talk about the design concepts that you want to incorporate into your growing space to create a sanctuary, a place where you can hide out and spend time and feel secure and safe and be surrounded by beauty. The third portion of the course is where I step in and I talk about planning and planting your garden. My focus is, how can I help you grow more food, better food, without an aching back? I want to eliminate weeds from your garden, from your life, so that you can focus on growing great food. We talk about planning, planting, record keeping, we talk about seed saving, and these are all really fun things for us to do and work with. The fourth part of our course, we focus on permaculture gardens. Our emphasis here is teaching you how to prune cherry trees, peach trees, plum trees, how to grow different types of vine crops for your garden like grapes and kiwis, and how to incorporate other edible perennials into your garden landscape. I really feel that the fourth aspect, the permaculture aspect, the food forest aspect, really brings the course to life and just gives it that extra dimension, because if we're to gain food security for our region, we have to look beyond annual vegetables. We want to look into the other high protein foods and the fruits. Protein foods being nuts and seeds, and then the fruits that we can grow so well in this region and in many regions around the world. We want you to join us in this course. We believe we have a lot to offer, and we believe that we're going to help you become better gardeners. We're going to save you time, and we're going to set you up for success. You'll be able to build confidence in our gardening community.